Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Tuesday, just got off work, and we have an update. This is chassis mounted splitter part 2. This isn't going to be a very long video. At least part 2 is not going to be, I guess, too much going on. We're going to kind of go over what I have done to the car so far in terms of getting that quick release system fitted to this car for the splitter. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did, and we'll explain it. And then I think after I kind of go over the mount and everything, we're going to, in the mount and then the other mounting locations and stuff like that, then we will go over we're going to go ahead and put the trim around the edge of the splitter and stuff like that to make it look nice. So let's go ahead and look. So on the ground here, first starting off with this. If you guys aren't familiar, this is what pretty much a quick release looks like system. It's usually like two kind of wheel things right here, and then you got your upper and lower bracket. So let's take it apart first, and then we'll kind of go over it. So you're gonna have a retaining pin, or whatever you want to call this, a pin. The splitter will come apart just like that. You got two pieces. You got the upper bracket and the lower bracket. So keep in mind, I did buy this kit off eBay. I don't remember what the seller's name was or the company, but this is for a Honda Integra. So here's the upper bracket, here's the lower bracket. You know, there's the hardware, like the wheels and bolts, go to this upper bracket. I was gonna initially just trim off some of the access material, so about like that much right there. So that way, let's go like that. Trim off that excess material. But the only problem is this top bracket is very, very thick in terms of the metal. I think this is steel. It's very, very thick, and just trying to cut that with a cutting wheel got very, very sketchy. So I value my fingers a lot more than I value trying to make that upper bracket work. So what I did is I kept the lower bracket, because the lower bracket is, you know, pretty good. Nothing wrong with it. This lower bracket for some reason is made out of thinner material, while the upper bracket is made out of thicker. I don't know. I guess because the upper bracket gets mounted to the car or something. But so what I did is, instead of trying to cut that and stuff and possibly lose my fingers, I went ahead and made my own. I bought this little T-shaped bracket from Home Depot. It was this side was about that long too. It was just like a long T, and then I trimmed off some off the top and some off that side, and drilled some holes, mounted the hardware from this upper bracket onto this. And so it works pretty much by, I'm trying to do this one-handed, but you get the gist of it. Pretty much slides in like that onto that. Then you put the retaining pin, which there's a hole for it on the bottom bracket and the top bracket, so it goes through both of those to keep it locked in so it doesn't go anywhere. And so it just kind of mounts on the car like so, going this way or whatever. So yeah. Only problem is, I went ahead and mounted it onto the car, and it was too low to the ground, meaning that if I mounted the splitter onto this bracket, the splitter would be about this much off the ground or so. I want to say probably about that much off the ground. I don't know, like an inch, almost an inch and a half off the ground. And that is just way too low. I'm not trying to do that. And not only is it that it's low, it's just with the bumper, it would leave this much of a gap also as well from the aftermarket lip to the splitter. There'd be this huge gap, and I don't really like that, even though I could put like an air dam or something. But just, how about we just raise it up and make it sit flush against the lip, and yeah, our problems will be solved. So to be able to raise this up higher, I need to trim off some of the more material. So I kind of went ahead and marked it with Sharpie. So sorry, I'm just trying to do this one-handed. Boom. Okay, sorry. Anyways, marked it with Sharpie. I gotta cut off some of this material right here, and I gotta cut off this material just to be safe. And that's really it. And I should be able to raise it up by another notch, and it should be flush with the bumper. Then my other option as a backup, if none of that had worked, was this bracket right here. Would have just been a standard bolt-in bracket onto the splitter and not a quick release. But we are going to try to make this work, and if not, I also have another backup plan, a redesign. So I'll just go out and buy this bracket material again, line this up right here. I kind of lined it up, and it's pretty much shortening everything down from the sides to even this part. This part could be probably a little wider, but you know, I was offsetting this more to the left, meaning that I could actually push when I put this on the car, everything would be a little bit more forward, so that way I won't hit my intercooler piping, because right now with this it is hitting the intercooler piping. So let's go take a look at the car, and I can show you what it kind of looks like mounted on. Keep in mind, I mounted the one that goes on. Keep in mind, I did mount the one that goes on the driver's side onto this passenger side, because I wanted to see if it could work if I flip them, but it's really, oh, sorry, Ford. It's not gonna work. So, because then that means I would have to mount the splitter, and it'd have to go reverse ways. The bracket, when I put it on, it'd have to go this way, which you don't want to having a hookup going this way, because if all the air is blowing this way and it's putting pressure on the splitter, it could just slide backwards and fall off. So you always want it the other way, where the hooks are going this way, so that way pressure's blowing against it. It has those bolts holding it in place. So anyways, long story short, I gotta trim those down, and we'll get to that in a minute after I'm done eating dinner, because I'm pretty damn hungry. And yeah, so after I'm done eating dinner, we will trim those down, and we will do another test fit, and then we will install that trim onto the front splitter. All right, see you guys in a minute. Hey guys, I'm back from chow, or dinner. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this bracket. So yeah, I'll try to put this camera in at least a decent angle. It's kind of hard without my bigger, whatever you call it, camera mount thing. But let me try to get you guys a good view of this while I cut. So excuse me if my arms get in the way, etc. But here we go. Alright, so the freaking blade broke again. I'm sick and tired of these cutting wheels. They suck. But hopefully I could break it enough, or I could bend this and just snap it off. Oh, guess not, but whatever. I just gotta cut through there. I'm tired of changing these blades out. They break so easy. But hang on, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I got a new blade. Let's do this. Hopefully it doesn't break again. Be pissed off. Cool, now we just gotta cut the other side. The other side is not really super necessary, but whatever, it should work. The blade broke right as this piece was already off anyway, so, or at least I thought I was in half. Damn it, never mind. Okay, I'll be back again. Gotta replace the blade. Alright, we are back. Again, another blade. Let's get through this. Alright. Cool. We are good. Let's go ahead and put this on the car and see how it fits. See you in a minute. Okay guys, we are back. Here is the side of the car I'm talking about, the frame rail. There's this threaded hole right here, and there's this big hole right here, which I use, like I said, well, I didn't not like what I said, but I pretty much just use a washer, something like this, to put behind that big hole to kind of block it off or kind of make it more solid, and I run a bolt through there and then through this, and then a bolt on the other side, so it kind of has something to grip onto, almost kind of like sandwiching the bracket and stuff. But let's go ahead and do that. There's no extra hole actually on this yet. I forgot. I didn't make one yet for that, but I will after I line this up. At least I have the upper hole to use. So let's go ahead and put this on here. And there it is. Now I just got to put this bottom mount on. And that should be a good height once we bolt it in. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see anything. Let me see if I could even turn this up brighter and anything for you guys. No, that doesn't do anything. Oh well. Anyways, it's bolted on. I believe it should be the right height now. And that's really it when it comes to this, at least for this mounting point and where we're at. I'm gonna have to pause this again, and we'll come back to this in a minute because I'm still waiting for Amazon to deliver the trim for this, the new one, because this other one I bought did not fit, so I had to order a new one. But I'm gonna go ahead and mark the the hole for the bolt now while I'm right here. All right, so I went ahead and kind of traced the Sharpie while I have the mount on there from like the back side. See where I need to make that hole. I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna probably fast forward it. Okay, I got that off. Like I said, I need to make a hole right here for the other side that I'm talking about, which is right there. If you see that big ass hole right there, yeah. So I gotta make how I'm gonna make that hole and know that's lined up is I traced it from the back somewhat, right there, so I kind of know where to drill approximately. So yeah, hopefully it is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out real quick. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and drill the hole. Should be basically around here somewhere. Well, that didn't work, guys. I knew I needed to use a little pilot bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and bust that out real quick. Because for some reason, if you start off too big, it ain't gonna drill through. And plus those are kind of dull, I guess. But I always want to use this. Whoa. There we go. Make sure you have a vise sometimes, but for this it's not a big deal. But yeah, next we're gonna use a step bit that I got here. Make these holes bigger for the bolt. It's gonna go in there, which is gonna be another Allen key. But keep in mind, I thought about it as I was taking this off. I'm probably gonna change it from those Allen key head bolts or whatever you call them to, let me use this crack over here. So you gotta use the crack on the garage floor right there. It'll help. Like I said, I was thinking about changing it from the Allen key bolts. I don't know what I'm talking about again. I'm gonna change it from these because I just thought about it. If I needed to ever get this off at the track, that means I need to bring a freaking Allen key with me in the right size and everything like that, and that's just stupid to have just one specific tool just for that task. So I'm just gonna change it probably to like a 10mm bolt or 12 or something common, and that's what we'll use. But for now, I'm just gonna use the Allen key bolts because I know that they fit for now, and then I'll swap those out later on to some other hardware. But yeah, we'll get back once that trim arrives, and that's what we'll do next. So all I'm gonna do is pretty much mount this back onto the car, and oh sorry, wrong way. Mount this back onto the car and just check the fitment real quick and all that. Okay guys, I'm done cutting the other side of the bracket, as well as our trim arrived here from Amazon. So like, I've been trying to show you guys what the brackets look like on the car, and it's very hard to tell, especially with all those wires and things going on, and it's kind of dark on that side of the car. I don't have much light, but the mounts are mounted on there. All I got to do next is just kind of like recheck it and make sure that it is the right height and that it'll clear, and that's going to meet up at least somewhat with the front lip. And if it doesn't meet completely with it, it's fine. I'll still build like a little air dam thing to go in front of it. But if it doesn't, then I'll at least be able to get away. I mean, but if it does meet up with, it's flush with the bottom of the lip, then at least that kind of buys me some time. I don't have to make really an air dam for like a little bit at least. See if we can get it. I got my phone out here to shine some light so we know, so you can actually see what I'm working with, and bear with me with this camera. So there's my intercooler piping to the front, so you guys can kind of get an orientation of where I'm at on the car. And there is the bracket right there. Top, yep, top and bottom bracket are hooked up together. Same with the other side, and trust me guys, this whole other side is way easier. You can see everything a little bit better. Let me see if I can get this. Just kind of peel this stuff off to the side, and you can see what I'm talking about, what the mount looks like. It's actually pretty nice looking. Don't mind that box under there. I'm using that to like kind of prop up the splitter. But there it is, mounted there. It still retains the windshield washer fluid location, because it could just go right back on there. I just put like a slightly longer bolt on there, but to get a little bit more threads in. But yeah, everything's kind of mounted. Let's see if we could actually see it from underneath the car. Yep, you can see bracket right there, and then you can see the bracket right there. I'm pretty happy with it. Actually, it's pretty flush. Yeah, it's pretty flush with that panel that's already hanging kind of lower. It actually sits even with that, or maybe a little higher than that, which is good. I am going to be removing that under tray, just because that's just weight, like a lot of shit under there, under the car, and I just want to make it pretty simple. And also, you know, this splitter, front splitter, is going to act sort of like a splash guard anyway. So I just want to get like the best possible fit, so I am going to remove that under tray under there. Not to get confused with the actual skid plate, metal skid plate thing. I'm keeping that there, but I'm just removing the plastic stuff that goes around it. But here is the front splitter, so you guys can actually get a good view of it. I did take off the protective film, and so that way I can actually put this heat wrap around there, or heat tape, or whatever you want to call it. And that's just to protect, at least add some kind of protection to the material itself. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and install this trim. If you guys are looking for some trim, just go to A. Roman Racing's YouTube, where he's making his front splitter, and he actually put a link in there on Amazon to this material, and this is actually the right size. I did order the wrong size the other day, so that's why there's been a delay in this video. So we're going to go ahead, install it on here. Hey guys, let's give this another try. I got the batteries fully charged now. As you saw, the battery died twice when I was switching out batteries. We are done putting the edging on the splitter, and now I've gone ahead and kind of just mocked it back up onto the car to make sure, it's not too low to the ground, etc., etc. No, that's not how low it's going to be, but because I have it resting on some stuff that I shoved under the car or under the splitter for it to kind of be somewhat close to where it's going to be at on the bracket, and I kind of raise it up with my hand to see, like, how much of a gap there's going to be from the OEM lip to the splitter. And there's going to be, this is kind of it for the video. That's where the car sits for now. And I'm sorry, but part 3 is actually going to be the more in-depth part of this little series. There's, when you're designing something like this, and I'm still trying to learn how to do a lot of these videos, guys, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, especially, when you're having to measure this, and it's so hard to really get a camera in there in so many spaces and really document everything, unless I get maybe a head cam set up. I don't know, something like that. It may help capture the whole process, because sometimes I'm just I just want to get this done, and I know I shouldn't go around it like that. I should probably involve you guys more and see more of the process, but yeah, that's still a work in progress. But please stick around. Please subscribe if you can. If you want to hit that little notification bell or whatever it's called, go for it. I'm telling you, part 3 would be a lot better. I also have a 4-day weekend, so I have plenty of time to get this part 3 video legit, everything. I will even get my girlfriend to come over here and hold the camera and just, film it, so that way I don't have to keep having to stand this camera up somewhere. And I know some of my angles are pretty bad where I set up this camera, so yeah, please stick around and subscribe if you haven't. See you guys later.